Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody doing today? Today, we are going to talk about three crucial pillars for growth in 2024. So, 2023 is over. Put it behind you. We are going to talk about what is working right now and what you can do actually pretty easily this year to actually explode your business. So, before we go any further, I just want to introduce myself in case you don't know me and just happen upon me on the internet somewhere. I'm Lisa Balthaser. I am a business growth expert, and I help entrepreneurs create recurring revenue to reach six figures and beyond in 6 to 12 months by leveraging AI, systems, processes, content, campaigns, and technology. And I help you with all of the front end things that bring leads into your business and get them converted into paying customers. Okay, my main clients are coaches and online service providers. However, I do help leaders in other industries as well. So I am super excited today to bring this to you because this is growth is the main thing that I am focused on in 2024 for myself. As a matter of fact, I am a business growth expert. So there you go. I do want to let you know, I actually, before we go into this session, I want to let you know that I do have a workshop coming up next week. It is a Blueprint for Success business planning workshop for 2024. If you do not have your business plan in place, if you do not have one, or you're not happy with it, or you're just not sure how you're going to reach the numbers that you have on there, get in this workshop. This workshop is only $57, and it is worth far more than that because you actually leave. Let me just show you. You actually leave with a business plan. Okay. You actually leave, and this has like all the things. We work your numbers, we work your strategies for both business and marketing. So not only do we do the business plan, we do your marketing strategy for the year, and we marry the two together in this plan. That's why I call it a blueprint for success, because when you marry those two things together, the business plan along with the marketing plan and the marketing strategy, you have a real solid foundation to move forward and achieve success for the year. So I do want to call your attention to that. If you're listening and not looking at the screen, the website is fleur-de-lisa-solutions.com/blueprint-workshop. fleur-de-lisa-solutions.com/blueprint-workshop. And this is, you can find this actually on my main website, Fleur de Lisa Solutions. It's in all of my social profiles. And just go to the shop tab. You will actually see it there. And that is how you can get there also. So I just wanted to point that out. That is coming up next week. It's less than a week away. It's only 6 days away. I am super excited. It's one of the most transformational trainings that I do. And the reason it is the most transformational training is because when you crunch the numbers, when you really look at what you have in place and look at your plan and look at how you're going to achieve it, you see what is possible and what is not. You also see what needs to change. Okay. So when you make those changes, then you can easily see how you will achieve your goals. So sometimes I actually was in a networking group yesterday online where they asked how many people achieved their goals for 2023, and not one person raised their hand. Not one person. In addition to that, they asked how many people need more leads or don't need more leads. How many people don't need more leads? And there were no hands that went up, no hands. And that is because nobody had enough leads. If you can honestly raise your hand and say you have too many leads, then you are really doing something exceptional online. And that is few and far between, guys. The online space has really changed, but there are some things that you can do right now. And these things that I'm going to talk about today, these 3 pillars, if you create a plan around these 3 pillars, you will see growth. You will see that you can actually achieve your goals, but you have to put a plan in place. You have to implement it, and you have to be consistent. And that's where a lot of people fall short, especially with the consistency. So let's dig right in and go into these things. The first thing that I want to talk about, the first pillar, is data-driven personalization. Data-driven personalization. Okay, so I see a lot of people out there, and I still meet a lot of people in networking groups online where if you ask them who their ideal client is, they're like, oh, anybody that needs a website, or anybody that needs social media, or anybody that needs whatever it is they do. Anybody that wants to. No, guys, no. No, no, no. You need to really zero in on a niche. You need to talk to that specific person. You need to go deeper than age, location, and income, which are really general demographics. Okay. And actually, it's funny because when I teach ideal client avatar, when I help clients with their ideal client avatar, when we refine the ideal client avatar, honestly, I don't care about the age, the location, the income, and all of those things. The only way that they become relevant is if you're talking, like, so say you're talking health and wellness to a specific age group, then age is relevant. Okay. Say you have a high ticket program. Well, obviously you need somebody that has a specific amount of income that they can pay for it, or a means to actually pay for it. But here's the thing. Those things really honestly don't mean anything today. Okay, what does matter is, and this is what I suggest for people, is that you leverage psychographics instead. And that is really, you're looking at purchasing behavior, you're looking at website engagement, you're really segmenting your audience based on behavioral things and attitude. Okay, so for instance, one of the demographics that for me, for somebody to be successful working with me, they need to have a can-do attitude, and they need to be a self-starter. Because if you're not a self-starter, I am not going to drag you into doing the things that you need to do to have success in your business. I teach you how to do that. It is your responsibility as a business owner to go and actually do it. Okay. So a lot of people think when they join coaching programs or when they hire a consultant, that it's the person's job. Yes, we are responsible for teaching the things and helping you get to your goals. However, if you are not holding up your end of the bargain, meaning doing the things and being 100% in, not partially in, not in your free time, not I had to take a day off because I needed a mental break day. I mean, although we do need those, don't get me wrong. But you need to be 100% in on your business. And a lot of people are not. A lot of people say they are, but when it really comes down to it, they're not willing to put in the time or the work that is necessary to actually reach the goals that they set for themselves. A lot of times people will set goals and they think, they can put things in place and it'll automatically happen. Now, listen, guys, I help people with automation. Automation is one of my things, one of the things that I specialize in. And even with all the best automation in the world, you still have to work. The automation does not do the job for you. It makes your life easier. It frees up your time. It does a lot of things, but it can't do all the work for you. And a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, I have this great funnel in place. I don't have to go the extra mile. Well, that is incorrect. In today's market, you have to go the extra mile. People are looking for people to connect with, people who they love. And the only way to find that out is to actually have conversations with people. Okay. When you are creating your value proposition online, it is super important to understand your market and your market segments. If you have a general market that you deal with, and then you have certain segments within that market, you need to 100% inside out understand that segment, what they need, and you need to speak directly to that person. No generalizations out there. A lot of marketing, if you really look at a lot of the marketing out there, it's very generalized. Okay. It doesn't speak to specific people with specific problems. When you start doing that, you are calling in all of those people that have that problem. It may seem like you are really limiting the people that you can actually help. But here's the thing. When you call in a specific niche with their specific problem, you are focusing on that one thing that you can solve for them. You become known as the expert and you get great results for your clients. Okay. And when you do that, they go and tell other people. So that is why that works. So if you have it niche down, I highly suggest that you do. Okay. So the next thing that I want to talk about is under embracing data-driven personalization. All of this has to do with data. You need to know, you need to poll, you need to talk to get the data. Okay, you need to analyze that data and come up with the right solutions for your audience. Okay, so the next thing is, I was talking about tailoring your value proposition. That value must be a value that your audience recognizes. Now, in email campaigns, you can use dynamic content that triggers things for them. So highly relevant emails that boost engagement and start conversations. I was in an example of this is I was in a Facebook group with actually one of my coaches, and she had sent an email out that day. And this is what I'm talking about, engaging content. She had sent an email out earlier that day, and she usually goes into her group and she supports that email or says something about that email, and sometimes posts the same content. Somebody came in there and they did, the explosion emoji, and they were saying that was such a bombshell email that was sent out today. And then they went into the reasons. That is a conversation starter. When you are sending out engaging content that resonates with your exact ideal client, they recognize that, they see themselves, and it really hits home with them. That's when they come in and they will say something, they will support you. That comment was amazing, because not only did it reinforce what the coach was saying, but it gave the person saying it visibility. It also highlighted the actual expertise of the coach. How cool is that? Okay, so when you tailor your emails, when you optimize them to the exact audience that you are sending them out to, that's why segmentation and email marketing is super important, because you can really focus on the things that matter to them. Okay. The last thing that I want to talk about under embracing the data-driven personalization, because personalization is huge these days. How many of you, I am just curious, and if you are listening to this on the replay, I would love to hear from you also. How many of you feel like you are not heard online? you are not heard online. It feels that way at times. I know I get a lot of engagement on some of my posts, and I still feel like I'm unheard a lot of the time. So I can really relate to that. But when you personalize things, when you speak to specific people or types of people or groups of people, when you segment it out, you call them in. They feel heard. They feel like, oh my gosh, this person gets me. And that's why they would want to work with you. Okay. Super important. So it's important to really track and analyze the data, and personalize whatever you are creating to the data that you are analyzing. Okay. So if you find that, say you have three specific topics that you talk about, I always tell my people choose 3 to 5 topics, and only talk about those things, because that's what you get known for. So if you have 3 topics you're talking about and one of them is like crickets every time you post about it, maybe you want to rethink that. So that's using the data and the feedback that you're getting back from your audience and really fine tuning what it is that you're doing. What I find though is that a lot of people, especially with posting on social media and things like that, and even their email, it just blows my mind how they're not looking at their data. They're not looking at their open rates. They're not looking at their click-through rates in their email. They're not looking at how many people are really truly engaging with their content online. They look at the likes maybe, and that doesn't tell the whole story. There's other things that tell a deeper story. So you really have to track and analyze the data to use data-driven personalization. And if you do this, okay, you can be super effective in creating a really honed in audience for yourself. Okay, so that's number one, embrace data-driven personalization. Number two, master video storytelling. Okay, guys, y'all know this. Y'all know that storytelling is huge. Okay, it's super important today. It's one of the most important methods for you to be marketing your business online. Not only is storytelling important, it is necessary. So if you are not implementing a video strategy, you really need to rethink what you are doing. Okay, so the harnessing the power of video. People love video. People love to interact with video, and if it's shorter, it's probably better. And I know this is going to be a little bit longer training. I realize that. However, I do a lot of reels. If you do reels, if you do TikToks, okay, you can share them other places, and those shorter forms of video get a whole ton of engagement if they are done well. Okay, so learn to love video. It's a powerful tool. It builds trust, it builds connection, and it builds brand awareness. Mostly the trust and the connection building that is done through video is the most important thing that you can do for your audience, okay? Because they're seeing you, they're hearing you. It's more than one sense, okay? When they're reading an email, it's one sense, it's written. Some people don't like written. When they're looking at you online, it's not only the content, but it's the way it's presented. It's your gestures, it's your facial expressions. And I know I make some weird ones at times, and I'm okay with that. I've tried to not do that, and it just doesn't work. So I just talk from my heart, and I, help you guys with marketing and all of the fun thing. Well, to me, it's fun. And but really, video is a powerful tool. It builds trust, it builds connection, and it builds brand awareness. Okay, so when somebody is seeing you over and over and over again, okay, they are getting to know your brand. They are hearing your brand voice, and they are deciding whether or not they like it. Okay, and when they hear you over and over and over again, okay, they begin to really look to you as the expert. Okay, so it does take a little time for that to happen, but when that happens, it is priceless. Okay, because that's when they will start to work with you, start to refer others to you and say, hey, heard a great podcast that this person did. I think you should listen to this. They will refer people. It is amazing. Okay. Powerful. Go beyond sales pitches in your video though. Here's the thing. You can sell all day long. And I know I mentioned my Blueprint for Success workshop, which I still have up here and meant to take down. Sorry about that, guys. But video is powerful to use for promoting things. However, it should not be the only thing that you use it for. You should create valuable content for your specific customers, things that they can use, tips that will help them. And when they get those little wins, they will look to you as the expert, okay? And I know I started listening to a gal on TikTok, and it's regarding dating, which is kind of funny because like I don't usually listen to people regarding that, especially when they're much younger than me. So, but this girl so intrigued me. Every time I hear her, I laugh at what she says because as somebody who has a lot more wisdom because I'm a little bit older than her, just a little bit. I know what she's saying is so true. And if I had only known that like 20 years ago or 30 years ago, but when I listen to her, I just have to laugh and I'm like, yep, that's how it is. And I just laugh. So when you're creating that value content that really showcases your expertise, you are really going to attract the right people. One of the things that you can also utilize in video is question and answer. You can offer free workshops. You can engage with your audience directly through either live video or Zoom workshops or things like that. And I do all of those things at some point. I actually love video. I didn't used to. It used to scare me. I was actually back in the Periscope days when you got on there and all the trolls came on and they told you were fat, you were ugly, you didn't know anything, you're stupid. Yeah, that really did happen, guys. If you were not on video back then, that really happened. That's how I learned video. I made myself do it every single day. When people tell me they're scared of video, oh my goodness, guys, you have no idea how easy video is today and how nice people are today compared to what they were back in the Periscope days. You have no idea. It's a piece of cake today. So I have methods that I teach my people when they're scared of video, but I do get the being scared of video. I actually used to get off a video and burst out into tears because it was terrifying for me. I am, regardless of what most people think I am an extrovert, and I am not an extrovert. I am actually an ambivert, which means I have introvert and extrovert qualities. So what happens for me is like video tends to take a lot out of me. Being in a social situation tends to take a lot out of me. I love it. I feed off of it, but at the same time, it exhausts me. So it's not my comfort zone, let's say. So for me, putting myself out there on video was not the easiest thing, but because I know I'm a marketer, I know what works. Okay. I know what's going to be successful going forward. And video is the place. You have to be on video. Think about how video has transitioned over the years. There used to be longer videos on Facebook. There used to be longer webinars, and now webinars are getting a little bit shorter. Videos on Facebook, Facebook specifically, as I can think about it, are getting shorter. There used to be video on some of the other platforms. But think about how video has progressed. We are moving more towards reels, more towards those short snippets. So video is super essential for your business, but you can actually utilize it and utilize it well. TikTok and Instagram are some of the short form platforms, and I'm on those platforms. I actually plan on utilizing, especially TikTok, in a different way going forward. I have been using it a lot for some of the things on here, but I have other things that I am going to share on TikTok to grow my audience, because not only do I help business owners with their marketing, their business and marketing, but I actually am involved an affiliate for several health and wellness companies, and I really am an advocate for health and wellness, especially after the past few years. So it's something that is, close to my heart. It's really important to me. I do have a wealth of knowledge in it, but it's not my specific business. So I'm actually going to utilize TikTok a little bit more for that, because that's not really my platform to grow my marketing business specifically right at this moment. So I'm going to utilize it for both of those things. And it's going to be really healthcare geared towards entrepreneurs. Okay. So utilizing video and honing in that video to your specific audience. So number one, embrace data-driven personalization. Number two, master video storytelling. Master it. Master it. And that's one thing that I am focusing on for actually TikTok for the next 12 months. It's really my plan for TikTok specifically, because of the direction that I'm taking that particular platform. Okay. Number three, and this one, guys, if you do nothing else this year, you must do number three. Number three is so critical. I can't even tell you how important number three is. Number three is build a loyal community. Build a loyal community. If you do not have a community, it's going to be challenging. Okay. Building a community is very, very powerful, simply because number one, they know you for your expertise. It may be a smaller group, but they know you for your expertise. They will refer you. They will bring people more in. They will bring more people in. They will talk to you, talk about you and about your programs, about how you help them. They will share some of your things. Okay. And that is why the community grows. Okay. So it's very important to make a connection with the people in your community. And the reason it is important is because people, like I said to you, the online space is crazy. People feel unseen, people feel unheard. And even in some of the services that I provide, business and marketing solutions, people have gone out, sought help, and they were thrown into cookie cutter programs that weren't specific to their specific needs, and they felt like they were unheard. So then they think that these programs didn't work. Well, here's the thing. Most programs, most coaching programs, most things actually do work. Okay. But they need to be tailored to your specific business, your specific audience. And if that isn't done, there's a high probability that it won't work. So if you are in a program, it's really important for the coach to really understand what your audience is like, because your audience is a lot different than their audience. And unless you tailor things to your specific audience, things may not work. But building that community, okay, and making sure that you are connecting with people, go beyond transactions, cultivate meaningful relationships, get them into a meeting, coffee chat, have a conversation with them, not to sell. Okay. Now, if they are your ideal client, okay, that may lead to a sales conversation. Okay. But when you connect with people and truly just want to engage with them, connect with them, and get to know them, that is highly valued. They feel heard. They feel seen. They feel like they can trust you. If you go into a conversation and all you're trying to do is sell your thing, whatever that thing is, okay, they don't feel heard, because you're not listening to them. All you care about is your bottom line. Okay. They see that. Be transparent here. I want to help clients that really truly want to get the results that I can help them get, by leveraging some of the tools that I use. leveraging that launch processes that I teach, because I do teach a launch process. And it can work for a masterclass. It can work for a workshop. It can work for a giveaway. It can work for a seminar. It can work for any of those things. Okay. But there's a process that I follow to actually fill the seats. Okay. And I don't do it for my live videos because that would be every week. So that's a bit much. But when I do have a masterclass, I do follow a specific process. And I do teach that, and people start seeing results almost right away. Okay. Create a space for interaction. So whether it's a forum, a Facebook group, whatever, and I have a Facebook group that I have a group of people in that are there because they want to know a little bit more about business marketing strategy, lead generation, and all of the things that I teach. So that's why they're there. So when you create a small community, as opposed to posting here, there, and everywhere on social media, then you can become more focused and actually build relationships with the people there. And I have a whole process for that too. Remember, one of the things that I do help people with is systems and processes. And I have systems for just about everything in my business. And I teach my clients how to create those systems so that it doesn't feel so hard and overwhelming. Because when you have a process that you follow for everything that you do, and you do it every single time, it becomes automatic. You don't really have to struggle with like getting it all done because you know what you have to do. So create that space. You can even do, and this was one of the other things, you can even do member only events. Okay. So say you have an event like, okay, so on Facebook, this video only appears in my Facebook group. So it's a members only event on Facebook. And the reason I have it set up that way is because I know that all the people that are out there in my feed don't necessarily care about the things that I talk about on these videos. They're not necessarily my ideal client. They may need some of the information, but maybe they're not my ideal client. So I actually only put this particular video every week in my Facebook group on Facebook. That's it. That's the only place. So if you want to see this video on Facebook, you would have to be in my Facebook group. And it's very specific to the people that are in the group. I ask very specific questions as entry questions. Not everybody answers them, but I do keep a spreadsheet of all of the answers for the questions that I ask. So I know what type of content that people are looking for, and I can create the community. I can build that loyal community by focusing on the content that they are telling me that they want to see. Okay. So once you create that space, empower your members, give opportunities for them to learn, for them to share and support each other. And I actually do give some share opportunities in my Facebook group every single week. A lot of people do not take advantage of them. I have no idea why people don't take advantage of them, because they can get in front of people that they normally don't get in front of. It makes no sense to me. Take advantage of it. I give you that opportunity. Okay. Not every group does, but I actually do usually about 3 times a week. I have posts in there that tell you can either market your business, share your podcast, and even I have a Friday live in my Facebook group that hardly anybody utilizes, which makes no sense because video is the number one way to connect with people. So if your people are in my Facebook group, you are missing an opportunity to connect with them because you're not going live. Okay. So use the opportunities, connect with people, create connection. And I allow that in my group because I am fostering community in the group. I want people to get to know each other. Okay. And that's one of the ways that I have implemented for that to happen, by empowering the members to actually share something about themselves. And another thing that I implemented back this year, I was doing this back in 2022. back in 2022, I implemented this, and then I did not implement it last year. And the reason I didn't is because I had a dear friend of mine pass away, and she was one of the largest supporters of this piece and of my business in general, actually. And she passed away, and it was really devastating for me. And one of the things that she supported me on is interviewing my group, interviewing people in my group. So, so what I do is each month, um, I actually do. I was actually interviewing one person from the group. The most engaged person in my group would get an interview, but they can only be in the spotlight. They get a business spotlight. They can only be in that spotlight once every 12 months. So per calendar year is what I'm doing it. So that gives the members an opportunity, number one, to engage with other people in the group, because it's an incentive for engagement, but it's also an incentive to actually get an interview that I broadcast on all my socials, on YouTube, and you can actually share it to all of your things. It's an interview that is designed for my audience member to actually spotlight their business. I mean, I do introduce myself, but mostly they're doing the talking about their business. And it is a true business spotlight. I love doing it. I didn't do it last year because my dear friend was one of my spotlights on the previous year. And every time I go in to look at those videos on YouTube, I see her video. I don't want to take it down because I love her to death. And she, her not being here really hit me last year, and I just didn't do this piece for 2023. I am bringing it back for 2024. And the reason I'm doing that is to spotlight my audience members. How cool is that? Okay. These aren't people that are my peers. These aren't people that are my mentor. These are people in my audience. They may or may not do something similar to me, and that's okay. Okay. Because when you are a giver, it comes back to you. That's how life works. So, celebrate wins with your clients, and win and showcasing member achievements and success stories helps to motivate and inspire others. If I know of somebody that did something great in my group, I will absolutely share it in my group. If I see them doing something or see a win that they had, I will absolutely share it in my group. Why not? Let's celebrate the wins, because you know what? When one of us wins, we all win. And I love that. I love celebrating the wins of my clients and people in my audience. I just love it. So I just want to hit on let me go through the three things. First of all, the first one is embrace data-driven personalization. The second one is master video storytelling. And the third one is building a loyal community. If you do those three things, you are going to build such a solid network of people, because it's going to be focused because it's data-driven. You're going to connect with them because you're doing video. And you're building community by fostering the engagement and celebrating them and all of that. All of those things work together in creating a place that people are going to love you, flock to you. They are going to respect you. They are going to love what it is that you do. Okay. Not everybody, of course, but the majority of them. You're going to attract more of the people who are like you, that want to create that community, that want to be involved in a community like that, and that are looking at you for your expertise. That's why they're in your space. They're not going to stay there if they don't want to hear from you. So the final tip is, make sure you focus on solving your audience's problem. That's why it's so important for you to know your audience and focus on things that solve problems and give them tangible results and transformation, so that they can refer you because they had an excellent result because of you. That's when the people will refer. Okay. So remember, set yourself up for explosive growth and achieve your goals in 2024 by implementing these 3 things, and you will see some positive change in your business. And if you don't hit your goals, you will be well on your way to getting there. Okay. These are some of the things that I have implemented in 2023, and I'm doing more of in 2024, especially the rebranding with the shorter video for TikTok. I wasn't being specific to TikTok. I'm just kind of playing there in 2023. Now I'm going to be a little bit more focused on some other things. Okay. So that is what I have for you today. I want you to explode the results in your business in 2024. I do want to, again, call your attention to my business planning workshop that happens next Wednesday. It is 6 days away. It's only 6 days away. Gosh, guys, get in there. If you don't have a business and marketing plan, this will help you to see exactly the path that you need to take to reach your goals for 2024. So if you didn't come anywhere close in 2023, and a lot of people didn't, get in this business planning workshop. This will help you a lot. I promise you that. Everybody that has been in the business planning workshop loves it. I've seen a lot of breakthroughs in here. I've seen a lot of ahas. And here's the other thing. When you show up live in person, there is a replay. But when you show up in person, okay, you get my feedback. You can ask specific questions about your specific business and get answers right there. It is a workshop. We do the work together. Okay. So it is critically important for your business, if you don't have a business, to actually get a business plan. Yesterday, I went over some stats. 83% of the population do not have plans, and 14% of the population had plans only in their head. And the remaining 3% actually have them written down. And because I provide you with a place to write them down, you can be in the top 3% of the population that has your plan written down, so that you can refer to it and you know exactly where you're going. You don't drive a car without a map. You have GPS, you have a physical road map if you can find one these days, but you have a map. You can't drive across country and not know where you're going. You have to look at something to know what direction to go, what road to take. And that's what this is for your business. This gives you that roadmap. So instead of driving all over the place and going down, up, and around, you have a path to your success. Now, does that path look like it's straight up? Absolutely not. It never does. However, you are more likely to reach your goals with a plan than without one. So get in the workshop. I hope to see you there. I'm super excited. It is next Wednesday. It is it's a very robust workshop. So you will not be disappointed with the content that we go over in the workshop. Super, super important, high quality. And I hope to see you there. Thank you for joining me. You have a great day.